Hello everyone, welcome to another rendition of XGR, XPound Gaming Radio. XPound Gaming Radio. But joining me, as usual, is Richter Hammer
Hello.
and Anastasia Lazerbeam.
Hey!
As we guide you down this rabbit hole of video games, first with the latest news, then with some games we played this week, and then we cut to our topic, and our topic this week is, are games nowadays too reliant on online? So bear that in mind. With that said, it's time for the news. Take us away with the news, Richter Hammer.
All right, so first up, my mini news. I thought this was interesting, not strictly gaming related, but it's okay, it ties in. Over the past weekend, they had the Extra Life charity, where various people would stream games for like children's hospitals and Rooster Teeth did one. They every year do a 24-hour one where they game and do all this other stuff. And one part that I thought was cool was they had LeVar Burton on it to read some books, and the best one that he read was the masterpiece that every parent should own, Go the Fuck to Sleep. It's so worth it to watch him read that book.
Nice.
I actually think it might have been better than Samuel L. Jackson, or at least funnier, just because it's like when we were kids, you watch him on Reading Rainbow, and then all of a sudden he's reading a book that, like as an adult, you definitely appreciate that when you have children. It's just, I thought it was awesome just to see that.
That does sound pretty awesome. Is that the same charity that was doing the streams for Will Ferrell playing video games and people, a load of ones playing video games all for like the last couple of months?
I don't know if they do it for the past couple months. I know they do it. They might have been. I know that they were doing it last weekend. I'm not sure about they do it annually. I don't know if they were doing it a couple months ago though.
Yeah, because I will admit I found that it was weird. It was cool, but it was weird to see like Will Ferrell is now streaming games.
Is that weirder than I forgot his name, the Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, when he was like randomly streaming Call of Duty? And people are like, he's still alive?
Yeah. Will Ferrell streaming video games. It's like, come on, dude. I'm not making shitty elf films. Don't go making live streams now.
Yes, I mean.
I'm just joking with that to our audience in case they were wondering. I had no problem with it. I thought it was pretty cool because, hey, if you're a fan of a celebrity, that's great. Because if you're a fan of live streaming or watching games or something like that, then there's more options. Because you can go and watch your favorite person play games. I'm not sure if he played Lego City, Lego the movie, the video game, which he totally should have. But
yeah, yes.
but any of these works. But over to Pew then for her news.
Alright. Costume Quest 2 is now available. Yeah, on PS4 and PS3. So yeah, you should check it out. I watched a Let's Play of it. It looks like a pretty fun game. I'm looking forward to checking out the original as well, so I could do it in like a sequential order.
Nice.
The original is awesome.
It's also worth mentioning. I can't remember if Richter took this last week when it was coming out, but that's the game that also has Sackboy exclusive costume DLC for PlayStation systems?
Yes.
Possibly. Yeah.
You get to play as Sackboy, which is awesome. I just couldn't remember if Richter had taken that last week or if I'd been discussing that with someone else.
I did not take that last week.
Fair enough. Then it was someone else I'd been discussing that with. I off-screened it, it's cool. But, yeah, that game looks pretty cool. I did like the first one. I only played the demo with the first one, but I did like it. I should probably get around to buying that eventually.
It was really fun. I liked that game. The first one, at least. I haven't played the second one.
Yet. He will.
Oh, yeah. First one was really good.
You need to get it when you get your PS4.
There you go.
Not that I'm totally hoping to game share it. No. But I'm kidding. But no, my mini news: Dragon Ball Xenoverse is due for it's either Xeno or Zeno. I say Xeno because Z, Dragon Ball Z. It sounds like it's meant to be a pun. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is due for release in North America on February 17th. That's February 17th. If you're looking to get a hold of the Day 1 edition, this version also includes exclusive playable character Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, along with 2 special Frieza battle suits available in crystal and available in gold. And in case you're wondering, for my posse or my peeps over here in Europe, then it comes out here February 13th and February 17th for Master Race. No, it's February 17th for Steam because Steam has more of a worldwide release. Like sometimes games will come out earlier on Steam than they do on consoles here because it'll be on the American release date on some of them, and it's weird. But it's because they like share a store, which is fair enough. But yeah, so you get Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and 2 Frieza battle suits for your creator fighter of crystal and gold. So that's pretty good.
Gold.
Yeah, gold. Over to Richter for his massive news.
All right, so I believe it was 2 days ago, Microsoft announced that they are going to have a holiday sale on all Xbox One bundles, cutting the price for $50 or by $50, excuse me, from November 2nd to January 3rd of next year. So basically, through the Christmas season, all the bundles are $50 off, meaning even the recently released Sunset Overdrive bundle is it will be $350 if it's still available on November 2nd. But it's pretty cool. It seems like a lot of people are happy to get in on that, especially for the bundles. And they also showed the Assassin's Creed bundle that comes with a download of Unity and Black Flag. And that one is also going to be $350 during that time period. And then there's one that comes with, basically, it's that with a Kinect and Dance Central Spotlight. That's which one it is.
Nice.
For an extra 100 more. And they also, I saw a picture of the European one for the Assassin's Creed one. They also, besides the 2 Assassin's Creed games, get also Rayman Legends, I think. Whichever's the more recent Rayman, they get that too. But that's pretty cool. So they have, that's like their holiday bundle as far as I can tell. But it's just kind of neat that they were cutting the price.
Based on our recent videos, I thought Jim was the modern Rain Man. Yes, I'm making a Dustin Hoffman joke, and a horrible pun. But yes, no, that sounds pretty cool. They cut the price over here. I know Xbox One cut their prices over here permanently, so it's always £50 cheaper than PS4s, which is pretty cool. My only question with that is if they cut it so it's their offer that they want to keep on till January. Does that affect whether the likelihood of that being in a Black Friday sale?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure how it works.
Like, because a lot of times, well, as far as people have speculated, because we don't know for sure, because the ads have not leaked yet, people theorize that is the holiday bundle, but they feel fairly confident that stores themselves are going to put stuff on top of this promo. Like, over here, that week, yeah, it's that week, Kmart is, besides the $50 cut, they're also offering that if you buy a $60 game, you have their rewards card or whatever it is, you get basically $60 in points. So you buy the system, which is $50 less, and a $60 game, and then you can basically then go buy another $60 game for free, which is pretty cool.
That's
so
pretty cool.
It seems that they probably will, but I don't think it would be an official bundle. It'll be more like the stores, like Best Buy might be like, oh, okay, well, for Black Friday, we'll throw in an extra game, or like GameStop might be like, you'll get a 3-month Xbox Live card or something. So it doesn't necessarily exclude that there will be bundles, but I'm pretty sure that they would be store level. And not
fair.
like Microsoft is like, just throw another game in there.
Yeah. Fair enough. That makes sense. I wasn't entirely sure if like that deal would counteract them doing other deals, because Xbox would be like, no, our deal's the only deal that our deal can deal.
I doubt it. But
that sounds like a weird sentence.
Well, apparently also, I should mention, that a couple stores have actually reflected that $50 price cut already, even though it's not the second. Mostly it's on bundles like the Advanced Warfare and the Assassin's Creed one, because those aren't available until after it, so they just changed the pre-order price to that because it will be that price when it comes out. So I thought that was kind of nice that they were like, you know what, it'll be 50 by the time you can get it. Just make it 50 cheaper, then it saves us time in the long run, because then you don't have to try and price match it or all that nonsense. So I thought that was cool too.
That is pretty cool. And that does sound cool. Over to Pew.
All right. The first of 4 Link figures are coming out. The first one is Link on a Loftwing. It looks pretty awesome. It's $459. 2,500 worldwide, and the sculpting looks great. It looks pretty badass. I would totally get it if I wasn't already had money spent on other things right now.
Is that the one where he looks super happy? Like
he does look pretty happy. And the Loftwing looks equally happy. Like he's getting a lot of enjoyment about it.
Nice.
He likes being ridden.
And I'll just go over to for 1 sec. Just want to double check to see if they've responded to me for clarification on my news. If not, expect rage. And they did not respond, I don't think. No. Okay. Rage incoming. My big news, Rick, because I say Rick because I don't think Pew is interested in this game. They've announced the release date for Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh,
It's coming holiday 2015. The reason it's coming holiday 2015 is because they're going to do the next Battlefield after that in 2016, because as they put it, EA CEO Andrew Wilson confirmed the news during investors' recoil today. Battlefront is EA's big holiday blockbuster, and as such, the next Battlefield game won't arrive till holiday 2016. This allows us to have a major first-person shooter every year.
Wow.
You
like shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick now sees the problem. Yeah, Battlefront was meant to be third person. Yes, there was first person, but you could swap between them. So, and they had gone on record previously as saying you'd be able to swap between them. So now there's confusion and there is annoyance about, wait, so this isn't a third person shooter. It's now just basically Battlefield in space. What the hell? My guess, I'm trying not to go too annoyed with making it first person. My guess is maybe you can switch between them, and because you can switch between them, they assume most will play first. Like maybe in that one, first person is the default and third is not, which is fair enough. I can tolerate that as long as the third person is in Skyrim. As long as it's actually swapped between them.
As long as it's usable.
Yeah, as long as you swap between them and it's usable and stuff, that'd be fair enough. So I'm really confused about that. I did send them messages on Twitter and other sources and stuff asking them for clarification, but they didn't get back. They won't, but still, I did at least try to make sure before I raged. But yeah, I understand some people listening to this may be like, but cool, it's a first-person shooter. Yeah, but it shouldn't be. At this point, if you're going to make a Star Wars first-person shooter, and you're going to just don't call it Battlefront. Call it Star Wars. I don't know, Star Wars: The Wars or something.
Star Wars Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars Wars.
It is catchy.
My hope is that they're maybe touting it as a first-person shooter for like a sales reason. Like it won't. like maybe it'll defaultly start in first, so you have to like switch to third, but it won't be like crappy third. I'm hoping that they like build it in third, and maybe they're just trying to package or show it as first person, because then more people will sadly be interested, because they'll be like, oh, I like those games. Oh, I'm gonna play that.
Yeah. Based
And
on
that was probably a little mean to make it like a stoner sounding dude.
No, you said pretty accurate, but no. with the fact it's DICE, my guess is it'll be built first person because that's how they do Battlefield. But when you see Battlefield in the cutscenes, or you see the third person stuff in various other stuff, like through when you see other people, or when you see your death, or you see highlights and stuff, it doesn't look shitty. So hopefully the third person's usable. I mean, Skyrim's fucking atrocious. When you're using Skyrim in third person, you look like a fucking crab person. Like when you go to press left to walk, he doesn't turn and walk. He just goes sideways.
Crab
It's
people.
It's half fun to dress him in Zoidberg colours and just keep walking sideways, going woo 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 woo. But I don't think that's how you meant to play the game.
It is. No.
It is now, yeah. But no, I mean, I could see a lot of good with this. I could understand selling it as a first-person shooter. It's like, to be fair, Destiny was sold as a regular first-person shooter. It's an MMO.
Yeah.
Hopefully hopefully they have the option to switch. That's why I'm trying not to rage about it. But yeah, if it's only first person, I'll be honest, I don't think I'll buy it.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
I might do it, but like I said, I don't think I will. But it's time for the catch-up. So who wants to kick it off with catch-up? Let's mix up the order a bit, and let's go with the Pewmeister.
Alright. For catch-up, I played Assassin's Creed. Yes, I played a lot more of that. It was really fun.
Which Assassin's Creed?
Oh, Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. But I'm already like 90%, or it's gonna say like 70, but like I'm like substantially like more forward in the game than I am behind. I've completed most of the game, and it just never felt like, as much as I like this, and I like this as an great, and it's a fun game, it just doesn't feel like an Assassin's game, because he's just a guy who stole assassin costume and ignores the assassins and doesn't want anything to do with assassins, manipulates and steals from the Templars, but he's kind of just a dude who wants money and is figuring out how to manipulate all these organizations to get it. He doesn't really have any side, one or the other. So he doesn't feel like an assassin. Like, he worked with the League of, that's known as the Assassins. He just knows assassins, and he occasionally does assassinating that is non-League, set or whatever. And it's not like, it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed. It feels like a guy who fucking wants money, which is fine, but it's just, he should have more involvement with the Order, I feel like.
Fair enough. It sounds more like he's more like, when you get superheroes that are destined to be superheroes, but then you get other ones that are more thrust into being it, but they're more like anti-heroes. So maybe he's like an anti-assassin. So he's assassinating, but he's just not an assassin.
He's like the Jack Sparrow of assassins. He does it when it's convenient for him. And if he has to kill one or two on his own team to get his way, he probably will.
Yeah, which that makes him kind of an interesting character. Although I don't know, I haven't experienced it. That just sounds like kind of like an interesting character. But I don't know. To me, they're all Altair and not Altairs.
Well, on the plus side, it's a different, interesting motivation, because it's like, hey, get fucking rich. Yeah, that's about it.
50 Cent, the assassin. Well, didn't they focus on the pirating aspect, like the ship battles, a lot more in that one?
But you're just doing it for your crew and stuff, and you're trying to increase the welfare of your team and everything, and you're trying to be a good pirate captain and things like that, which is really awesome because you care about your crew.
Not sure if that answers Rick's question.
It is it's more about the pirate stuff, and getting ships, but Yeah, it's supposed to be focused on like like I can understand like a pirate assassin, but he's like not an assassin. He's just a pirate who occasionally kills people. And when does an assassination or murder become an assassination? Because he just straight out like murders people. It's not like an assassination, like oh my god, you know.
A murder becomes an assassin the moment you're paid for it. If you're paid to kill someone, you have assassinated them.
Half the time, I don't even like do it myself. They just fucking trip and fall and kill themselves.
It's an accident.
Because half the time I end up killing someone near them, and they run to go get me, and they fall off a cliff and die.
So you
Like-
so you assassinate them in a way that basically means there was no way of tracing it back to you. That makes him sound like a pretty effective assassin, if you ask me. Unlike what the hell was his name, Antonio, the guy who's basically Puss in Boots in the second Assassin's Creed game, who would jump down in front of everyone and just stab him through the fucking chest in front of everyone. An assassin. That's not stealthy.
He is pretty stealthy, but he's not like working directly with the assassins or has any aspirations to help the assassins' goals. He just has his own plan, and if he can like work with either group, because he's worked with the Templars and he's also worked with the assassins, so he just fuck both and do what I want.
I would argue it might not. Is it actually the fourth game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe they were just trying to do something new, because each character has tried to do something new. Like, look at how awesome Altair is, and look at the guy that wasn't Altair in the second one. He's now suddenly not as serious, and he's more like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give people syphilis before I kill them. And then, you know what I mean? And oh yeah, look, there's my Uncle Mario. Yeah, let's decorate my house while I'm here.
I love Assassin's Creed because
each time they try to give you something new, and it's not like in the third game, people didn't like the third game, but they loved the pirate or boat ship aspect, so they said, okay, what can we do to give someone just this aspect that they loved? Okay, boom, pirates.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't played the Assassin's Creed 3 long enough to be part of the assassin group because it took way too fucking long. But this one, he doesn't even give a shit about the Assassins group. And again, it's a great game, but he's just not involved enough, I feel, in the group known as the Assassins for it to be officially Assassin's Creed, you know.
Spoiler, he makes the decision at the end of the game. And it's in a decision that will change the face of the entire Assassin's Creed universe.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Because, like, yeah, I feel like this is kind of not an Elsewhere story, but like it's a side story. Because if you look at the Assassins group as a whole,
You mean Elseworlds?
Yeah, or I think that's Elseworld. Because his like own story doesn't directly affect the Assassins as a group. Like, really, this is just his own personal story, and the Assassins happen to be in it.
I would argue, aren't they all technically What If or Elseworlds now, since they killed Desmond and he was the guy, and then we're all meant to be his lineage, and the fact they
His
murdered
brain
him.
cells are still active.
Yeah, but the fact they murdered him means it's not his story anymore.
Yeah.
I guess. But it's not even the assassin story in this. It's the dude.
The guy from Big Lebowski?
No, that'd be cool.
What's your other game?
I didn't play another game this week. Well, technically, I just played another one right now.
Fair enough. You can talk about that in a second. But,
All right. Yeah.
Because that's one of mine. But
yeah.
Okay. Over to Rick.
All right. So one of the games I was playing this week is some more Senran Kagura on the Vita, because the DLC characters just came out yesterday. So I wanted to try them out. They are 4 each, or you can get both for 6. And one thing I thought was cool was that if you buy them now, they are unlocked in the cooking game that's coming up next year. So I'm wondering if that's sort of just with like Jiggly Ninja Girls. So yay. But
Your favorite.
That does sound better.
yeah, better than Mama. Sorry, but I don't think they announced that for the USA yet, so I don't know if it's was like a sly way of announcing it or what. But I just thought it was kind of cool. I was like, oh, they work in both games. That's kind of cool. But I tried out one of them so far. She's pretty cool. I tried there's basically they have names and backstories, but there's one that's like the faster one and one that's the stronger one. I'll put them as that. And I tried the faster one, and then at the end you fight the other one because like plot wise they're tied together. And it's kind of sucks because they are part of the plot, but you can't play as them. But you could play as them in the 3DS one, but that also had half as many characters, so it's like, it's. I wish they were included with it, but a couple bucks extra for them, I think they were pretty cool. But that last fight against the other one is freaking hard. Like, she's brutally strong and she has like a ton of health. It's like when you start with them, you're level 1, so like because basically you can do their like. Individual stories. There's like 5 levels, and the first 4 are fine, but then that 5th one is like ridiculously harder just because she has so much health and she's so strong. But it's pretty cool. I still like the game, and I think it was worth getting them. I haven't tried one of the other characters, but as far as I've heard, she's ridiculously powerful.
It should also be worth mentioning to Richter,
Mhm.
because I know he enjoys his Vita. I think almost every game on PlayStation Plus for November, which has been announced, they're
Has it?
all none of them are really retail games. They're more all indie download games, which has people saying that's kind of bad. But yeah, it's fine. But I think they're all cross-buy. Which means I
Nice.
think you can get every game on your Vita. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the Binding of Isaac Rebirth is, and some of the other ones.
Mm.
It's so good. Like, you can just play that shit for like 5 hours straight and be like, and have a different experience like every 20 minutes.
Gotcha. The other game I played this week. Well, real quick, I guess I should say that gets cool that they're crossed by the other ones. But man, my Vita card is like I keep having to delete stuff to make room for more games.
Well,
I don't know if I did.
I know what to
Huh?
get Richter for Christmas.
Memory card?
I'm getting him a Vita
Yeah.
card.
There you go. Well, I already have the 32 gig. Like that, I was like, oh, this will be harder to fill up. Man, no, that because a lot of the games I get for review are on there, so like that adds up fast. I don't even think I have I think the only 2 PlayStation Plus games I still have on there are Muramasa and like Plants vs Zombies, and those are like pretty small.
Can you not cheat?
And do what?
Because I believe either PSP or DS, one of the two, I did this on. When you used to use the cards for memories, I attached them to the PC and just moved them all over to a folder called that on the PC, and then I could just swap them back at my convenience when I needed them.
For the Vita, because it's a Sony proprietary card, you can plug it directly in to the computer and I think move it that way. And I have done that for stuff. So I mean, I can still re-download it. That's not really the issue I have. It just sucks that it fills up. And one thing I really, really hate about the Vita is they decided to tie all the game stuff together. So when you download it, the file is this size. When you make a save file, it becomes part of that. So if you don't have PlayStation Plus, like it's really hard because if you just delete the game, you'll delete your save data, which is stupid, like beyond stupid. So you have to. So I always have to make sure before I delete it, I like double check that I've uploaded it to the cloud and stuff because I hate that.
That does sound bad. Yeah, I was just generally wondering because I wasn't entirely sure if they were, if like some stuff where they force you to delete it in order to actually to make room. I wasn't sure if they were forcing you to delete it, or if you were were able to move it. Because if you can move it, that's not as bad, but it's still bad.
I mean, it's not horrible. It's just it can be inconvenient because some of those games they don't. I mean, the highest they get is like 3 or 4 gigs, but that can add up. If you have like 4 games like that, that's like 16, 20 gigs, and there's half your card.
Yep.
But Yeah. The other game I played this week, totally excited, Samurai Warriors 4 on PS3. And that game is pretty cool. Mole will like this part. There's a Chronicle mode where you get to make your character. Yay! So you can make a dude and buy new outfit pieces for him. And there's like 5 or 6 default weapons you can pick, and then when you basically befriend one of the other officers, it'll unlock their weapon set for you, so you can switch to one of the other characters, or you can actually play as one of the other characters if you wanted to do so in that mode. Excuse me, but I'd say the biggest, yeah.
Based on how the media is reacting to everything nowadays, I just have to say, you can create a dude. What, you can't create a woman? Women aren't allowed to be in this game? You sexist pig.
Well, you can actually make a woman, although I found this funny because yeah. Something that I was making fun of though was my wife actually made her character first because I started to, and is while we were playing cards was when I was downloading it one of the times. And so I told her, because she likes to make her characters. I'm like, oh yeah, you can make a character. She's like, oh, okay, cool. So I was like doing it, but I hadn't like finished my character and everything. And so she, made hers, and then she started the mode. And as far as I could tell, there's just one save file for the mode. So basically, she's going through that one mode, and I'm like, oh. But she made a female, of course. And what's funny is like I don't know if it's based off the fact that she picked a female or if like one of the voice settings or something for it. But it's kind of funny because if you're a guy and you like kill like 1,000 dudes or whatever, and the guy will be like, "Oh, you are a warrior among men," okay. But like if like when my wife does it, one of the officers is just like, "Wow, she's powerful and cute," and I'm like, "What?" Like, all the guys like say stuff like that, and I'm like, "That's a bit sexist." Like for the guys, they're not like, "You're so ruggedly handsome." The girls I don't think say that to the guys, but it's funny that the guys are like kind of skeezy to the girls.
Does Victor also find the guys that do that and goes back through it on the opposite side and murders them and goes, "That's for hitting on my wife"?
Sometimes, yeah. Well, I do make jokes,
yeah.
and I'm just like, what did that guy say to my woman? And she just laughs. I pretend to get all like angry about it. But game is really cool. They added a hyper attack. So basically, Mole's played these before, so he'll know. But like the normal, you get like the square string, and then the triangle is like the combo ender, or it's like like to do a different move. But now, in addition to that, if you just hit triangle instead of doing a move like they did, which was always not the greatest move, they weren't really strong. Now you do like basically like a dash slash, so kind of like high speed ninja samurai shit. But and if you like hit triangle several times, you like in like it's its own combo string now, so they have it off of triangle, and you like dash around, and it is ridiculously good for just killing hordes of dudes. But like they're pretty useless on the officers because the officers deflect it a lot, which will like stagger you back. So it's kind of neat that like if there's just lots of dudes around, you just spam triangle and you're just like dashing through, cutting up lots of dudes. But then if there's an officer, then you got to go back to square. And I think it's kind of cool that they gave you like a whole different combo set. And there's some characters that are specialty at that, so they get more combos. And I just think like I think it's really cool. Although my friend was saying that a lot of people were complaining that they're like too good, and I'm like, yeah, but they'll fix them in the next game. Don't worry, they always do that. But I think they're really cool.
People complain that something is too good.
I know, on the internet in a single player game. There's no like verses, and people are complaining that they're too good.
Yeah, in a single player game where you can kill thousands of people, they're now complaining you're overpowered. Good job, internet. This is why we can't have nice things, as Rick would say.
Well, he was like, yeah, some people were saying that it's too good because you don't use them, except you only use that except on officers, and I'm like, yeah. And you know what I did before? I only used square and then like. This gives me I think it's kind of cool that like one attack is better for smaller groups or stronger guys, and one is better for groups, and I'm like, I'm totally fine with that. And although he said somebody suggested that for the characters that specialize in it, leave it as is and then kind of tone it down for the others, and I'm like, I'd take that as a happy medium, because if that's their specialty, some of the ones like that, they got really good. Like there were some characters that I didn't think were very good, but with that new attack, like what they have them do makes them a lot better. So it's like if they make it worse, then they're gonna be back to being bad.
I can understand that. That does sound like a cool feature.
So yeah, those were the ones I played this week.
Fair
Yay!
enough. The first one I played this week, I'll just get this out of the way first. The Legend of Korra on PS4. And I let Pew Pew try that out, and I've also let Marcus Shadow try that out too. I like that game. I really do like that game. It's easy to see how it was inspired by Bayonetta, or at least it's easy to see what they've taken from Bayonetta, if you will. And overall, the game's pretty good. The only complaints I would have would be I hate the Nagala missions, where it's now like an endless runner, where you're just running and pressing left, right, dodging and jumping. I'm like, no, I don't want this. I don't want to play that. But the actual beating people up and fighting through stuff and boss fights and stuff is really fun. I mean, really fun. Like getting the Avatar state at the end was brilliant because I felt so powerful when I pressed triangle and it made me like do a fucking nuke to the level. I was like, yes. But I love that game. And I've seen people complain about various stuff, but I'd argue it's about £10 over here. A regular game costs 40 or sometimes 50. And I completed this in 4 hours. So 4 hours times 5. That's like maths that you can't even do. No, I'm kidding. That's like 20 hours, which basically means, yeah, it's totally worth the price. Because I'm sorry, like we discussed the other day, you can get games for £50, and not including collectibles. Like I was excluding the collectibles and the extra mode and stuff in Legend of Korra. Just talk about just the main story mode. It takes 4 hours. I can't think of many games on the systems nowadays where the main story mode takes you like 20 hours to complete. I can't think of many. There are a lot, but I can't think of many. But what did Pew Pew think?
I thought that game was really fun. I mean, I only played it for like a short amount of time, but the moves are just so like fluid and everything. And I didn't experience much lag in there or screen tearing. And fuck, fire is awesome, man. So fucking awesome.
I love the firebending.
I mean, I was fucking had Iron Man jet boots and like flying and shit.
Earthbending's my least favourite ability. Only because out of the other ones, earthbending doesn't have the range to it, which is stupid because I've seen the movie The Last Airbender, and you're supposed to do all these yogas and stuff and be able to fire a pebble across the screen. What the fuck? Where's my yoga pebble throw?
Yoga Pebble.
That's its technical name. I'm kidding with the Last Airbender movie, but no, I've seen the show and stuff where they throw fucking boulders. Why can't I throw a boulder? But fair enough. So, but green is great on the semi-bosses. I don't know what you'd call semi-bosses. Mid-boss. Yeah, let's call them mid-boss. Or yeah, mid-boss is a good word. I'll do. Basically, yeah, but it's like a mini boss. Basically, they're like other benders, basically, and like I've tried like there's another Earthbender. For the longest time in that game, whenever I was going against the other Earthbender using water, air, fire, anything, he was fucking eating through my health and just destroying me. Like he was Brock Lesnar-ing me, like. And then I came back and I learned Earth, and the second he came up close, boom. Like make like the rock in front of me, just knock him into the edge, blast through his health, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm supposed to earthbend him. I'm supposed to earthbend the earthbender? That makes no sense. And the Avatar, shouldn't I use the power the best is the opposite of earth? Like air?
Yes.
But no,
I would think so, yeah.
Apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently I'm supposed to chastise him and go, ha! I'm a better earthbender than you. You're mad, bro.
He's Metal Man, where his own weapon will kill him.
but that game is pretty cool. People should totally check it out. And if you go over to the Gaming Zone on YouTube, there is a Let's Play of it up for the first half. I haven't put the second half up yet. I probably should before Twitch runs out and makes it expired. But well, speaking of Twitch, Pew Pew, you won't be able to get naked on Twitch anymore. I'm sorry, but.
Well, good. That fucking asshole on Alien Isolation, like in the first 5 minutes, was like, "Hey, take your top off. I'll give you $100." And
You
it's
told me to join.
I thought it was interactive.
Yeah.
yeah, and so all I did, he kept fucking messaging me, so I banned the shit out of him.
In my defense, your exact words when I first joined were, this is good, but like, now I'm worried I won't be able to buy more games because it's going to require more money. So I tried to do an exchange that would benefit both parties. Excuse me. Okay, no, it wasn't me.
I mean,
I don't go
seriously, Stacey, you should have done it. Mole gave me $100. I don't see the big deal.
I did.
No.
I gave Rick $100 just to be naked and show me his mech suit tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let your minds wonder where that is.
Nothing weird about a couple of naked dudes checking out each other's mech suit tattoos.
Am I the only person that thinks Richter probably totally has like a transformer tattoo on his cock that when it gets erect actually transforms and makes like the body and
It makes
stuff?
that noise.
And when he's not erect, when he's floppy, if you will, it's like it's like a car. And then suddenly when he goes erect, you get the body.
Oh my god, there's an image.
I agree, there is an image. Oh god, so good. No, but
I'm glad I decided not to have my dinner yet.
oh, you are offending Richter. He is the face of the XPound.
I know.
But basically, the other thing I played, which this is semi-cheating, but we discussed and it's allowed because the news about it being released is old because it was released yesterday, so I wanted to discuss it. And I know it's kind of weird because of what we're going to discuss for the main topic, but SharePlay. That is fucking awesome. It has a limitation in that you can't SharePlay with... The limitations are you can't SharePlay games that require an additional peripheral. I wanted to share my Disney Infinity with people, but sadly no. It said they're unworthy. But basically, that's the message that comes across the screen. You're unworthy of this game. No, it doesn't. Ironically, it says something about region. It says this game does not allow streaming. We think it might have something to do with the region or blah blah blah. And I'm like, really? Okay, and I've tried it on all the other games, and I've even tried it with Americans. It's not region locked. No, according to Sony, the only reason is it doesn't work with peripherals. The other issue is, instead of it being 1080p, it's 720p, which... and it's 30 frames per second. Now, it doesn't sound that bad, and I know there's probably people out there thinking you can't tell a difference. Yeah, you kinda can. Not while you're playing it. If all you see is that screen, you don't see a difference. But I played with my nephew when he was in the other room playing on FIFA on the other PS4 in our house, and he was playing on FIFA, which is a football game. I went in there and I watched him play for the longest time. When I came in my room and I watched it, there was a noticeable difference. If that makes sense, like you could tell it was just. It looked slightly less clear and stuff, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I'm okay with that because people have been complaining about that, and I'm like, why are you complaining? First of all, people bitched that PlayStation Now thing, if it's in America, was using too much bandwidth. How dare they make us use so much bandwidth? And they give you another feature, and it's, we want to use more bandwidth. Why aren't you letting us use more bandwidth? What? No. It makes sense because it gets rid of lag. There is some lag depending on internet connection, and there is some screen tear. But overall, it's been a great experience because I've tried it with Worms, I've tried it with FIFA, I've tried it with Legend of Korra with 2 different people, and stuff like that. And it's a great feature because I also tried it with Marcus Richter because he was wondering because it was on sale on a game Stacy has, and I know a game you liked or you were interested in at least. Yeah, I put him in. I said, "Here you go, try this game." And he said, "Oh my god, I was about to ask you about this." I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, because it was on offer." And I let him try it. Plants vs Zombies. We played Plants vs Zombies in local split screen online.
Nice.
Now
The world, like the universe, just collapsed a little.
Yeah. Now
We played split screen couch co-op online.
Yeah. Now you can't actually stream while you're doing that. I did try that. You can't do that. That's a shame, but that's fine. Fair enough. I can accept that. But you can play the games. You can play the games with people and stuff, and it's a great way because it puts an icon on their PS3 afterwards that some people have bitched about, and I'm like, really? How fucking entitled are you? You can't take 2 seconds to just delete it if you don't like it, because it puts an icon on there. It's like, let's say I share played with you, Rick, the game Legend of Korra, so you could try it out, because I know you were curious about that. Let's say I let you play that with me, or I'll pass you the pad and let you have fun. After you've played, when you go onto your home page of the PS4, there's a big fucking icon there, like the regular games with Legend of Korra, and it has a padlock. If you click on that or follow through on it, it can take you directly to the store so you can purchase said game.
Oh, nice.
But you can easily delete it. And some people are like, oh, how dare they? They've only brought out this feature as advertisement. I don't want to buy these games. That's why I'm sharing it. And I'm like, no.
No, you share it so you can like fucking say, hey, try out this fucking awesome game so you can buy it. Stop being a fucking leech.
It's like people were complaining that you can only do it for an hour. You can only share it for an hour. The second the hour's up, you can instantly restart again. I don't see what the problem is, because people were complaining because they wanted to like not buy games and just get their friend to hit share and go to work and stuff, and they'll be like, yeah, okay, cool, and just play the shit. I was like, no.
I took my sister. I'm always wanting to say, like, because she got pissed. I sold the 220 games, or I got the $220 from selling the 22 games. My sister was like, I can't believe you did that. Those are all the games I can't play now. I'm like, well, you could have bought them from me, because I'm the one who paid for them. Just because I buy games doesn't mean everybody can fucking play it now. If you like it, support the industry and buy it yourself.
Yep. Well, you can.
Listen, what she's done with Stacy.
Yeah. Well, I do approve of lending games to your friends and family and stuff. I mean, I do that, but it's just the idea of of people complaining that share play was A, limited, and B, advertisements. Like, well, of course they're not going to bring out a feature that gives you every game for free.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great feature because there's so many possibilities you can do with it. Like, I know Marcus has mentioned when the wrestling game comes out, when Richter's got his PS4, he wants Richter can actually be at his house and go through the entirety of making Richter. He can literally build him. He has the technology. Yeah. He can make him faster, stronger. No, sorry. That's a completely different, unrelated feature.
No.
But no, he can go through and he can build him at the comfort of his own home. And then it could save to Marcus, and when he goes around, he can play that. Or let's say games like Lego Batman 3 when it comes out. That game when it comes out doesn't have online multiplayer. I'm so going to be share playing that with like Marcus or someone like that, just so I can split screen it. I mean, I can split screen in local anyway, but it'd be cool to play online with any of you guys.
Yeah.
Except Stace.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm kidding. But not really.
Oh, fuck you.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. But yeah. No, I am, I'm kidding. But let's go on to our topic, I think, because I was discussing share play. But first of all, what do you think about share play from what you've heard, Rick? About like with the limitations and what the benefits and stuff. What would you think?
Well, what happens when the hour is up? Just curious.
When the hour's up, whoever's the party host has to hit share, go to share play on the party and hit start it again.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it okay, so. Because I was wondering if it was like gonna boot you immediately out of the game, and I'm like, that would suck. But if it just kind of like pauses it or whatever, and that's pretty cool then. It sounds.
It's sort of
Yeah.
it'll boot whoever's sharing it out the game temporarily,
Right.
until the other person.
But it doesn't like kick the game out to the cross media bar or whatever the PS4's version is, right?
Oh no, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Or if it does, you can just put yourself in a party and start again. Your progress won't be lost because it'll still be on the other person's. But you also don't have to play the games either. You can it's a great way of doing stuff. I forgot to mention that. I found that out, which I believe I'd mentioned. I just completely forgot. But I can actually play the game if I want to say, like, let's say Richter's like, Mo, yeah? I really, 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 and I'm like, yeah, I really want to watch you play Lego Marvel. Or I really want to watch you play Lego Batman, or I really want to watch you play Worms. I don't have time to play myself because I'm dealing with the kids and stuff. They're like climbing up the curtains and drawing on top of the wall and stuff.
Curtains, walking on the ceiling and all that shit.
They're like in the corners spelling out "Daddy sounds bald" in play blocks and stuff.
Yeah, but there's red rum in the walls. And,
But something like that, where it's like, or even if it's just a single player game, it's like I don't really want to play it right now, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. I don't have to go via Twitch and set up a whole stream, which I've done before now, where I've done it just so I could show it to an individual person from our Skype groups and stuff, or from our friends groups and stuff. And it's like I don't have to do that now. Now I can just do that and not have to worry about streaming it. Which is beneficial because that means when I go to stream, it's because I want to stream. When I go to show someone else the gameplay, I don't have to create a whole song and dance about streaming. I can just do it while having a conversation on Skype.
Right.
But yes.
Okay. One other question then. For like when Marcus was playing Plants vs Zombies with you, did it actually? Like, was he able to save his character on his profile? So if he bought it, would he keep whatever levels he earned, or is it all on yours?
No, it's all on mine.
Okay.
He's playing as my bandit cactus.
Okay.
But that's pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to it. And there are some games out there like Worms, which my brother owns, and I'm planning to pick up, and stuff like that, where they're just perfect for this feature. Like I can even go through and say, "Hey, Rick, yeah, make your team on Worms," and I'd be like, "Okay, cool." And he let him design his team, and Stacy do it, and stuff like that. And then every now and again, I could be like, "Hey, do you want a game of Worms? Cool, share play it, play Worms."
Yeah.
And the only reason I would share play Worms with Richter and Stacy, for those of you wondering, thinking, "Wait, so he's encouraging them not buying the game?" No, I encourage them to buy the game. The only problem is a lot of Worms games in recent years have been region locked, which means I can't play with them. This gets around region locking. You can actually play games with your friends now in other regions. The only problem is the 30 frames per second stuff and how it looks. I will say I wouldn't want to play, say, a game like Injustice or Street Fighter or something like that with them as much in share play because they've got slight delays sometimes at screen tear, and they've also got less frames per second. Chances are that means my character's going to win.
It went really smoothly for Legend of Korra, so I really didn't see any anything bad about it.
Nice.
I mean, maybe because I have faster internet now, so.
No, there's that, but there's also the fact, to be fair, Legend of Korra, while I like the game, it's not the best graphics.
No, but it's stylized for the universe, so it works in its favor. But
it works in its favor. I just mean, it could have looked better even with the graphics. Even with the graphics, it could have looked better.
If you used a more Call of Duty or something graphics heavy game or something really intense,
Yes. Like Tetris.
Fuck yeah, Tetris.
Oh god, I've never seen an L block so highly defined. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, that
1080p L block. Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's sassy L block. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Am I the only person that I will admit on game FAQs when they do the character battles before now has voted for the L block?
I have, yeah. I usually vote for the characters I'm like, I like this person, and especially if it's someone I hate in a block, I vote against them.
That's why
Except
I do
for I won't vote for, what was it, Bidoof or something? That was stupid when they won. But didn't L Block win one year? That was awesome.
that was awesome. But yeah, I do that. Like, let's say if it's a character I don't like, again, but I'm fine. Won't vote. If it's a character I flat out hate, then I'm gonna go vote against them. And a lot of times they do that with the L blocks. I'm like, no, against. Like Toad from Mario versus L block. L block. I will vote L blocks over and over again until my finger bleeds.
And even then, a little after that.
Yeah, then I'll just take a Viagra and I'll use my penis to press the key.
It's not disturbing at all.
Until that bleeds. No. No, I'm kidding. But I have voted for character. If it's a character I flat out hate, like, and I know few people may disagree on this, but let's say it was Clementine from Walking Dead versus the L block. I'm voting L block. Sephiroth versus L block. L block. Whereas if it comes to a character like, I don't know, DJ from Street Fighter, I don't like him, but I don't hate him either. I'm just not going to vote that round because I'm like, fair enough.
Gotcha.
I believe it's time for our topic.
Yes.
Or, depending on how this conversation goes. But yeah, the topic this week is, are games nowadays too reliant on online? The best example of this would be, like I discussed last week, Drive Club. It's called Drive Club because you have to set up a Drive Club. And when you got the game, yeah, a load of cars and stuff are unlocked through Drive Club. A load of patterns are unlocked through Drive Club. And yeah, the servers have been a bitch, which has made the game feel incomplete, or has made the game feel worse than it was if online wasn't as, I don't know how to put it, but as heavy in the game. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Have you guys thought of any? Have you guys had any examples of it being too much like that nowadays?
Where it's too reliant?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, you have to, like, update your whole PS4 if you want to play a game, and you can't go into it right away. You have, like, day one patches, which are fine, and you need them, I guess, to make it work, but, like, it just stops you from playing the game. It slows everything down, and that's, like, really annoying. Or sometimes I can't access the basic functions of, like, my PS4 that are not internet-based if I'm, like, not connected to the internet, which could also really drive me crazy.
I could see that. And how about you, Rick? Have you seen any games being too reliant recently?
Yeah, I can't recall titles offhand, but I know that there are some where they were. Yeah. Well, usually they're like competitive ones, but there are definitely ones where they'll like shut down the servers and the game's just basically you can't play it at all. Like there's no local or any other feature other than go online. And if like the server shuts down or the developer goes out, yeah, MMOs definitely. And there's a lot of MMOs that are in MMORPGs that I've played where I really feel there easily could have been an offline version, or they could have, it could have it doesn't need like even or like you could do smaller things, like you could play with your friends to do it, so you wouldn't need like 8 million people playing it. It's possible to do it with like a small handful, but I definitely think that games are going more and more to be online, and I think that they are becoming reliant on it, and it's going to be more and more of a problem going forward.
I can see that being more of a problem. It's like Disney Infinity. I went to play Disney Infinity the other day, and it tells me you can't connect to the Disney Infinity servers right now. Fair enough. As a result, you can't download toy boxes. And for a lot of people, downloading the toy boxes, it's its own category. a lot of the stuff with not don't get me wrong, that game's not completely unplayable without online, thank God. But a load of games nowadays, their biggest features are tied to online.
Yeah.
Like the wrestling games with community creations.
Yeah.
I understand why that's online though, because you have to upload and download stuff. But
Yeah.
it's still free. Whenever games come out nowadays, well, maybe those ones like the wrestling aren't too reliant on it, but there are some like I mentioned like Drive Club and stuff where it's an offline game. It's a cool offline game. You can play it offline, or when you're connected online, you're building up your club. Fair enough. But the second online goes down, you notice a big drop in what your game can do.
Yeah.
And I do think that is becoming an issue. Now, luckily, some games are trying to avoid this. I mean, the only thing they rely on for online with a lot of games are DLC and stuff, which is, yeah, it's fair enough. I'll allow that for now. But it's a case of some games, though, are becoming, like I said, too reliant. But a lot of them are learning that, hey, you don't need to make online the focus. Just because everyone can play online doesn't mean they should.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that game Marcus is playing, what the hell's it called? Middle Earth, Shadows of Mordor.
Mordor, yeah.
Yeah, that one. It looks like an okay Batman clone, but it looks pretty cool. But it's not. If he lost online, he wouldn't feel like suddenly he can't do the game. So I'm like, okay, at least so there are some companies out there still doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do feel it's becoming an issue. Like, what about Destiny? Since it's the elephant in the room, we need to address.
Yeah, that. Yeah, if when they stop supporting that, it's going to be useless. Like, because there's no reason that was one I was thinking of too when I was saying that there's no, they could do offline. There's no reason for that it has to be online. I don't, I understand that for whatever reason they want you to connect all the time, and there's updates like other MMOs, like where there's events for limited time, but so much of it you play with like one or two people. You could easily do an offline version, or like not has to connect to a server. Like if I connect to my friend, we could play. Like there's no reason we couldn't do that. There's, as far as I know, nothing that prevents that.
Yeah, that should be a thing for Destiny, like I said, like peer to peer, where okay, let's say I'm wanting to play with Richter, Stacy, and stuff. Fair enough, we can make a group and just go and do those same missions. Yeah, and the only reason I mentioned Destiny is Defiance or DCUO and stuff. Yeah, fair enough. As much as I don't like DCUO, I will give it a pass because it's called an MMO. Destiny, they went out their way to say it's not an MMO. Yet everything about it is an MMO. If that goes offline, which I think it will, when that eventually goes offline, it's gonna be, you're gonna have a useless disc on your hands.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, some of those missions you need a group. You can't get around not having a group for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I think, that's why I enjoyed the parts I played with the Xenoverse beta, where you could go through the entire main stuff, like the main storylines and stuff, offline if you chose to, and you could just put the computer there as your allies to help you out.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Why couldn't Destiny do that?
Because they're lazy. I don't know. They didn't even finish the game, so.
How dare you? Are you saying a developer in this day and age would deliberately hold back content for the sole purpose of selling it later on as DLC? How dare you, Rick?
You're right. I'm sorry.
DLC is made with love and care because they clearly care about the customers.
That's true. But I mean, even there are some racing games. I'm trying to remember.
Have I said racist for a second? No.
No, even with online stuff, there are some racing games. I don't remember exactly which one.
Drive Club.
But there isn't no well besides Drive Club. There's one that was like it's not Blur or Split Second. It was one like that though that it had a strong online component and they took it off and there was some like dumb things you couldn't do in the game because what?
Oh, I know one that did that.
Okay.
My Gran Turismo 5.
Oh, maybe that was one I'm thinking.
I bought the game really cheap, and I bought it after 6 had come out. It turned out they shut down the servers. As a result, 99% of that game was unusable. I was like, oh, no wonder you took off like 99% of the price.
Yeah.
Well, they technically didn't. They took off like 50%, 75% of the price.
Mm.
Oh.
And I know this isn't the most popular reason for games around here, but it is an aspect whether or not we like it. But there are sometimes trophies and achievements that are tied to online functions. We not necessarily even direct play, but sometimes it's reliant on that you can connect to a server or to another person, and if they take away that ability, then it's like, oh, well, that's cool. Can't get that. And like that, whether or not we agree with it, that's important to some people. So it should be at least mentioned, I think.
Oh, I can agree with that. It's like the ones where, as much as I'm one of those ones who doesn't like them, and ironically this is one that I hate, the ones where you have to win so many online matches.
Yeah.
Because that forces people to quit. But if the game's offline, they're never going to be able to win any matches, period.
Yeah.
At least patch them. Maybe they should look into patching them. Like, okay, if you take off the servers, patch your trophies so that instead of winning so many matches online, you don't have to win so many matches on legendary difficulty or hard difficulty or something. Make it that.
Well, here's one. Okay, this one bugs me. For Gears of War 3, there was one where they have like community events, and they gave you an achievement for participating in. I think it was like 30 of them or something like that. And I couldn't get the game at release, but I bought it later, and I was playing with my friends. And it's a fun game. But then one of the things that they updated was they're like, oh, we're not going to do any more of these events, so we're giving everyone credit for 29 of them. So if you've ever done one, then you're good, you get the achievement. But I have 29 because I bought it after that, and I'm like, well, I guess that's cool. So when I'm looking at like all the medals and stuff, and it's like, oh, I can't do anything about that one. Cool. Like it's just annoying because it's like 29 out of 30, and I'm like, oh, even if I don't care about the achievement, it's like one off, and that bothers me because I'm weird like that. But it's just kind of like, can't you redo some of those events, like, or something, or anything else? Like, those events, they kind of sound like fun. Like, okay, a similar thing is Left 4 Dead. They have the I forget what the mutations. That's what they're called in Left 4 Dead. Where it's like, oh, this week, like every person on the evil side is a tank, or like everyone has machine guns on the human side, and it's like that's kind of cool. But once they take it away, you're like, oh, that was cool. Like I never, like I hope they bring it back. Or sometimes you like tell your friend like, oh, dude, there was one where like everyone was a boomer and it increased the zombies. And you're like, that sounds like fun. Oh well, I missed it, so I guess that was a cool story. Nothing I can do about it. It's like that's like I understand that they're trying to get you to play online, but it'd be kind of cool if there was some way to get those later, so you could still experience them past when they decide they want it to be up there.
Yep, it's like I can agree with that. They should patch it, and it's like Thingy when you mentioned that, I was thinking of. Do you remember Zombie U on the Wii U?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great game. I loved that game. However, I would say I would make it a case that might have been a little too reliant on online, only because, and I know that's weird, a Wii U game too reliant on online before someone makes that joke.
Monster. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but the reason I say it's not reliant on online, or the reason it was too reliant on online, the best enemies you would get in that game were when your friends had been bitten by zombies and were appearing in your game. That was just, they were actually strong. They felt stronger than normal zombies and had better shit.
Yeah.
In order to survive properly, you needed to at least encounter one of your friends being dead.
Also, sometimes like if
Which,
you
thanks, Pew.
Uh, Sometimes if you die in a game, like I don't get my shit like immediately. I'll just get it like next time or whatever. Well, you know what? No, my body's already looted because one of my friends looted my body, so I don't get my shit back.
I have looted your body on that game. Like I looted Marcus Shadows too. I'm sorry, I found them in my game with their name. I'm gonna kill them and get the stuff.
I know, but it means
Why
I didn't
would
get
you
my
not?
stuff. Because you beat me to me.
Yeah, although I will admit, sometimes when I died, something I'd love to do on that game, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna go all the way back there to do that, but my body's still gonna appear there. Regardless, it's always gonna appear there. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun, and I deliberately died right at the beginning. Just so I knew I'd appear later on. And so someone would see my body and feeling, oh yeah, it's one of my friends. Kill him and spend ages killing him just to find out there was nothing on him. Does that make me evil?
Yeah,
that's kind of amazing.
But I did like Zombie. But yeah, there's too many stuff nowadays. It's like, oh, you need to go online. You need to connect day one online and link up your account to our webpage to get a costume.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They're not as annoying as connect to our iOS games to get a costume, but still.
And let's even though we already brought up Destiny, this bothered me about it too, is you can make a clan. That's cool, except you have to do it on the website. Like I'm like, really? You can't like talk to someone and make it in the game? Like to join it and to make it and all that stuff is on the website. And I'm like, and like even the little like backstory stuff, like as you do stuff in the game, you unlock little grimoire cards that give you backstory and more information. That's all online. Like you can't, and it's like, just why can't I do this in the game and also there?
Yeah, that sounds to me almost like the next step in a bad way to the Call of Duty clan one, where you could create a clan on Call of Duty Ghosts, I think it was, and you could have people join. But in order to promote them, in order to change the settings, in order to change the logo or do anything, you needed the iOS app. Or maybe not iOS is the right word. You needed the mobile app. Which, yeah, why? Why would you do this? And that's the other thing that's annoying as well with some of these games nowadays. Because, okay, I understand it because Save the Trees, they now have online manuals.
That's annoying.
Which means, let's say you were to buy a game. Let's say I was to go and buy a brand new game, and I say new, brand new as in it was new. It may have come out years back, but no one's owned this copy. I go out and I buy a new game of like a 5-year-old game, and they've turned off all the servers. There's a good chance that manual's not available online anymore. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, then you get a game without a manual.
Yeah, and the worst is I've noticed some games actually tell you consult the manual. And it's like, thanks. You couldn't have just put a note there to help me through. No, consult the manual, which isn't in the box. No, you have to go online and consult it. Give me a second. Type.
And another thing with reliant on online that should be mentioned because I just thought of it like a minute ago, is sometimes even this is gonna sound weird, but sometimes like friendly stuff, like if you don't have other friends that play it, that feature is completely useless because you don't have other people that connect to online to help you. So like the Nemesis from system from Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, where like the monster jumps from your friend's games to yours game and stuff, like like it's kind of like a little viral monster or whatever like that. If you don't have friends that play it or don't connect, then you're like, oh, that was cool. I don't get to ever do that or get the cool loot from it, and it probably won't hold you back, but it would suck. Like, oh, that feature sounds cool. Oh.
It would. That would suck. Which, yeah, that sounds similar to that zombie feature. Which, yeah, if it helps, I do plan to pick up that game once you have it on PS4.
Well, yes, it's not necessarily applicable to me, but
I know.
I could see something like that, or if there's like online only for a game, no couch co-op, and that's annoying too because you're just like, I know that's not exactly, but it's like it's an like, oh well, there's co-op, but it's an online feature, and you're like, but I don't. I have someone here to play with it. And I know that's not exactly an online only thing, but it's the fact that they're like, oh, we're gonna put it in multiplayer, but that'll be online. Like, oh, just stop.
Yeah, I've mentioned that before now. I love local multiplayer more, but yeah, sometimes it's a case. Now, I understand it for a game like Alien 3 Predator, where if you
Yes.
screen peek, it ruins the entire game. But for racing games that have had split screen on the SNES, why is there no split screen? Shooting games. We had shooting games with split screen back with GoldenEye and stuff, and maybe even before that. But it's a case of, where's my split screen? But it's like types of games that should have split screen now don't, because like, nah, it's cool online. We don't want to hurt the graphics.
Yeah.
It's another DLC castle.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, you don't want to hurt the graphics. Good job. In saving the graphics, you hurt my soul. But I realised it wasn't applicable to you, Rick. I was just saying that if it helps, when you get Diablo 4 Ultimate Evil Edition on PS4, I will buy it too, and I will infect you.
Nice.
I will infect you. I will try my best to infect you.
I'm glad that you can't get that in hardcore mode, because as far as I understand it, they just kill you. Like, once you run across it, it's really hard to kill the nemesis. Hardcore, that would suck. That'd end your fun real quick.
How annoyed would you be if, like, when they get infected and they die or whatever, with however it works, you find out Mole deliberately did it multiple times in one spot over and over again. So when Richter goes down hardcore, there's a whole army of them. He's like, what the fuck? And you just hear me on Skype, you're mad, bro. You bastard, you son of a bitch! And I wouldn't mind either, but it's right at the end of the game. Why would you do this? And they're all by the door. No! But no, I'm curious to know what you, the listener or viewer, depending on your definition, of our little radio show, thinks about online. Is it becoming too reliant nowadays, or do you think it's a necessary reliance, or do you think it's not reliant enough? And leave your thoughts, feedback, and let us know. I was your host, Chriz, aka The Mole. I was joined by Anastasia Lazerbeam.
Woo!
And Richter Hammer, aka the SHAD Gamer.
Thank you.
So, peace, and leave your thoughts and feedback.